So many people struggle to heal and they do not enjoy their healing journey. The healing journey is often hard and cyclical and unproductive for a lot of people. So if you feel like your healing journey makes you more frustrated than it does happy, if you feel more stressed by your healing journey than excited, then you're not alone. Welcome to The Simple Source, your source for all things self-love, self-healing, personal growth, and spirituality. I'm your host, Linda Valines. I have over 10 years of personal and professional self-healing and teaching experience. I'm a trauma-informed, certified holistic health and wellness coach, certified Ayurvedic counselor, and author. I healed myself of a lifetime of complex traumas and chronic conditions with joy and ease. Now I'm teaching you to do the same. So if you're ready to heal and love yourself more, mind, body, and soul, without all the struggle and stress, and with more joy and productivity, join me to liberate your highest, healthiest, and happiest self and learn how to thrive more simply. Let's get started with today's episode. Every day, healing can be an opportunity to get to know yourself, or it can be a source of anxiety, a source of overwhelm. And too often, healing is the latter. And then what happens is you become resistant to healing, you become avoidant of healing, you develop these beliefs about healing and then about yourself, which are that you're broken or that you can't heal, or that healing is only for people who have a lot of money or a lot of time. And the healing journey then just becomes a burden as opposed to a liberation. So today I'm going to discuss why so many people struggle to heal and why people don't enjoy it, which I find to be a tragedy. The main reasons are lack of healing skills, which are self-love, self-trust, emotional health, the ability to self-regulate. People also lack a foundation for healing, meaning they don't understand the mind-body connection and how the nervous system works, how their bodies work, how their brains work. They lack self-love, they lack self-trust, and they have a poor relationship with their emotions, which is kind of in line with what I just said. A lot of people are disconnected from their authentic self, meaning they're on their healing journey, making choices and behaving as their wounded self. And you can't be showing up as your wounded self and heal. Also, so many people have a poor relationship with their emotions. A lot of people are going through life with so many suppressed and denied emotions. And a lot of people also have antagonistic mindsets about healing and limiting beliefs. A lot of people are stuck in survival mode. So many people are chronically stressed and addicted to stress, and so many people overcomplicate their healing journey. And another big reason is that if you lack a system or a structure or a roadmap, you don't have direction and you don't have clarity. So then, of course, your healing journey is going to meander. You're going to get stuck. You're going to end up probably where you started a few times. And all of that lends itself to a healing journey that is unproductive, that is stressful, and a struggle. So I'm going to get into each of those things that I listed now and hopefully offer you some solutions to resolving why healing is not enjoyable for you when by definition it is meant to be. So when you build healing skills, which are self-love, self-trust, self-knowing, self-awareness, mindfulness, the right mindset, all of that stuff is so fundamental for healing. And we're not taught that. No one is taught how to heal, which is no one's fault, but it is a great tragedy. And what ends up happening is because no one is taught how to heal, and we just embark on a healing journey without the healing skills because we're not taught how to heal. We just have a general idea of what being healthy and happy is, which in most people translate as like eating better and exercising. When you lack those healing skills, when you lack the self-love, the self-trust, the emotional health, and the ability to self-regulate, it's like you're stepping out onto like a basketball court with like zero experience and you're expecting to like win the game, or you're like jumping into the ocean, the deep ocean, open waters, and you don't know how to swim. It's going to be scary. You're going to be intimidated. You're going to be out of your league. Again, it's not our fault that we're not taught how to heal, but we can learn these skills. That's the thing. Skills are skills, and we can develop them, and we can learn how to love ourselves. We can learn how to trust ourselves. We can develop emotional health, and we can develop the ability to self-regulate. But when you lack self-love, what happens is, because it's a skill and no one is taught how to love themselves, when you lack that and you embark on a healing journey, what ends up happening is you self-direct the quote unquote failures and the disappointments and the frustration on yourself. It's all self-directed. And because we live in a codependent society and culture, we're not taught to self-validate. We're taught to, or rather we're conditioned to get that validation from the external world, from other people. And a lot of people also get validation from sex, drugs, substances, etc. And so we're constantly sourcing what we should be giving ourselves, which is love and trust in ourselves, from the outer world. And because we don't have those skills and we're seeking all of that validation and all of that comfort and soothing outside of ourselves, we are never going to be satisfied, because we're looking for something that can only be satisfied within, outside of ourselves. This is part of my awakening and my healing journey. That's why you're frustrated. That's why you're disappointed. It's because even when you get that like modicum of external validation, whether it be from your partner or your coworker, or you had like a moment where you like lost 5 pounds and you felt so good. And then of course, life hits you and something else happens and you feel awful again. It's like, then all the progress goes out the window and you become hard on yourself again. And then healing sucks, or it's not rewarding, or it's never going to happen. And that cycle of self-shaming and lack of production just feeds into itself. And then that, of course, makes you doubt yourself and makes you doubt your ability to heal. All of that is also terrible for your emotional health, which of course means that you can't self-regulate. So when you lack healing skills, of course, it's going to be difficult to heal. Healing is like one of the few things in life that everyone who embarks on just like goes on this journey as if they're like experts. And then we struggle. This was me, we were just like, oh, I'm going to find the right diet or the right exercise program. I'm going to read the right book, and it'll be that aha moment, and I'll find the quote unquote cure. And then I will be worthy of love, and I will be good enough, and I will be unbroken. And then someone is going to love me the way that I want to be loved. That is not what healing is about. So when you develop healing skills, when you learn to love and trust yourself, you develop that emotional health, which means that you stop like identifying with your emotions. You stop taking other people's emotions personally. You learn to attune to your emotions. You learn how to regulate your emotions. You learn how to feel your emotions. People don't know how to feel anymore. I don't know if we've ever been taught that, but just people don't know how to feel. We don't know how to be with our emotions. We're so scared of our emotions. And there's nothing wrong with emotions. Emotions are so normal. They're a part of our life. They're a part of being alive. Yes, even the shitty emotions like the grief and the heartbreak and the sadness, but all of those emotions are so critical for your body, for your health. And when you deny yourself those emotions, you deny yourself your healing. And also you deny yourself your nervous system and your brain and your body, like the ability to regulate. All of these are healing skills, and I'm talking about them as if they're second nature, because they have become second nature, because I have developed the skills of loving myself, of trusting myself, of having a healthy relationship with my emotions and being able to self-regulate. So if you're hearing me and you're like, well, it sounds easy for you, it's because I've developed the skills. It's because I wasn't taught. We're not taught how to heal. I learned those skills. And so when I learned those skills, healing became productive and easy and joyful for me. Also, when we lack a foundation, this goes hand in hand with what I was just saying. This is why so many people struggle to heal. Like I said, Healing is one of the only things where people are just like, yeah, I'm just going to embark on this healing journey. I'm going to meet my inner child. I'm going to know exactly what to say to her. All is going to be, kosher. And I'm going to be able to heal my deepest and darkest wounds. And it's going to be, glorious. And next year, I'm going to be free and liberated and the highest version of myself. It's not how it happens. Our minds and our bodies literally do not function like that. It is a layered process, physiologically, from a neuroscientific perspective, from a psychological perspective. It's just, healing is easy, but it's not that easy in the sense that, like, if you don't have the ability to meet your inner child with calm, with nervous system regulation, with self-awareness, with the ability to unconditionally love yourself, like that encounter, that relationship is going to be tumultuous. It's going to be unsafe for you, the adult, and for you, the inner child. But so many people do that. They lack the foundation, and then they like jump into the deep waters of the healing journey, and it sucks for them. And no wonder it's like, you build a house on shaky ground and the house is going to crumble. That's just logic and physics. And so when you lack a foundation, of course, healing is going to be stressful. And the foundation is understanding the mind-body connection, right? Understanding psychology, understanding why self-love, why self-trust is important, understanding your own emotions, right? Emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, healing mindset, right? That's all foundational. And this is why I teach how I teach, right? Why I have a whole phase 1 of my program called the foundation phase. Because when you build that foundation, when you develop those healing skills, when you learn about how your mind and your body actually heal themselves, when you self-educate about your nervous system, when you do teach yourself how to heal, you build that stable and safe foundation. And those are 2 key words here, stable and safe, because nervous system regulation is essentially what healing is, because we can't heal when our nervous system is dysregulated, and we have complete and total control of that. But when we are showing up unconsciously and just like diving into the healing deep waters, inner child, trauma work, and we lack that foundation, that means we are showing up in an unstable and unsafe way for ourselves, for the inner parts of ourselves, for our healing journey. And so, of course, healing is going to suck. So being prepared is such a key component to enjoying your healing journey. If you're unprepared, meaning you lack the foundation, you lack the healing skills, then of course you're not going to enjoy your healing journey. And there are just foundational aspects to healing that are not taught, that I teach, which is why my approach is so unique, because healing doesn't need to be so stressful. It's stressful when you lack the healing skills, when you lack the foundation, and you embark on a healing journey that is then very intimidating because you are scared of your own emotions. You're scared of the wounded aspects of yourself. You don't know how to love and trust yourself. You are disconnected from your emotions. You're stuck in survival mode and this nervous system dysregulation. You don't even know how to regulate yourself, and you want to heal. Of course, it's not going to be productive. And when I say like showing up as your wounded self, did I say that? I meant to say that if I didn't say that, which is how so many people embark on a healing journey. It's like, I want to heal because when I heal, I will be good enough. When I heal, I'm going to be lovable. When I heal, I won't be broken. When I heal, when I heal, when I heal. The reality is, the truth is, friend, you are not broken. You are good enough exactly as you are. You are lovable exactly as you are. That is not why we heal. We heal to reclaim our freedom, our wholeness, and our well-being. That is the very definition of healing. The reclamation of those things, it does not mean that it's not the discovery, right? Healing doesn't mean we've discovered our wholeness. You're already whole. Healing means reclaiming your wholeness, okay? I'll get more to that in a minute. But when we're disconnected from our truths, which is that we are whole, that we are good enough and lovable exactly as we are, that we're not broken, when we connect with those truths, even on a superficial conscious level in the beginning, which is just to build that awareness, right? You don't have to believe that 100%. In order to change the direction and the enjoyment of your healing journey. You just have to plant that seed, begin to accept that that is an alternate reality, that there is a whole other world where you are not broken, where in fact, you are deserving of unconditional love, particularly from yourself, exactly as you are. When you start to entertain limitless beliefs about yourself, i.e. your truths, you start to disengage from the wounded identity, right? Which has gotten you on the healing journey in the first place, which is I'm broken, I'm not good enough, I'll be sick for the rest of my life, or I'm unlovable, I'll never find, the person who loves me. You fill in the blank. But again, we cannot heal if we show up for life in a wounded way. It makes no sense. So many people are disconnected from their authentic selves, meaning they have been conditioned by their families, by childhood, by life to operate on autopilot, to operate as their inauthentic self, which is a myriad of facades. This was me for many years, like pretending to be healthy and happy when in fact I hated myself and was miserable and unhealthy. But I just pretended to be the opposite because I didn't want to be ostracized, right? I didn't want to feel any more other than I already felt. And yet I was completely hiding from my truths. And when you hide from your truths, you just can't heal. You can't heal when you are denying your true self. You can't be whole and believe in your brokenness. You can't be well if you believe that you're going to be sick for the rest of your life. I mean, this is like the false identity versus your true identity. And so many people just move through life operating as their false selves and holding steadfast to these identities that keep them sick and unhealthy and unhappy. And that's one of the reasons why you're struggling to heal. Poor emotional health and stuck emotions. This is a big one. And this was a game changer for me and probably for many people when you learn to love your emotions. I talk about my emotions as if they're my friends. You're going to hear me talk about my emotions like they're my friends because they are, even the grief. And this is why when my husband passed, I was able to grieve so healthfully, so beautifully, and so productively, not to say or to diminish the severity of my grief. There were moments and days where I was like literally clutching the wall because I was just like, my body needed the support for me to like cry and feel the pain of his death. So I grieved, but I grieved like fiercely. I grieved completely. And that was because I was available to those emotions. And when I went to Switzerland after he passed, you better believe I was crying my way across those mountaintops when I was hiking by myself. I mean, that's why it was so healing. I mean, I wasn't just like hiking to like move and like not think about Matt and like forget that he passed in this horrific way. No, I was there. I was just in a beautiful mountaintop hiking, but I was like fully with my grief, like tears falling down my face. It was beautiful and it was painful. And that's all okay. And when we have to develop that kind of relationship with our emotions, if we want to heal with joy and ease, when we deny ourselves that perspective, when we are like, well, guilt feels icky, shame feels icky. Yeah, it feels shitty to feel shame. Feeling shame is not a fun experience, but this is what happens when you befriend that shame, when you no longer judge that shame or identify with that shame and you allow yourself to just feel the shame. What happens is your body feels relief, your brain feels relief, your nervous system goes, okay, I can let this go. And then so much clarity surfaces. Because every emotion has wisdom for us. We feel on purpose, okay? Emotion is just like energy and motion. And so if we are denying our emotions, we are literally withholding the movement of energy, which of course then stifles our life force. And then of course, we're going to struggle to heal because we need energy to heal, friend. And when we suppress our emotions, you are suppressing so much energy that wants to be released, that wants to give you information and clarity and wisdom, visions and relief. And so if you have a poor relationship with your emotions, meaning that you judge your emotions, meaning that you hide your emotions, you think certain emotions are bad, and you're only comfortable with like surface level emotions, if you have a poor relationship with your emotions, you are going to struggle to heal because in order to heal, we have to feel. It's just the way that it is. And if you have an antagonistic mindset to healing, this is another reason why people struggle to heal, is their mindset about healing like goes against healing productivity. So if you think that healing is hard, a perfect example is if you think that healing is hard, or that you think that self-love is not important for healing, if you think that you can only heal so much, or that there's only so much that anyone can heal, right? When you put limitations on what is healable, then you're showing up for your healing journey in an antagonistic manner. And of course, healing is going to be a struggle for you, right? Our mindset is shaped by our thoughts and our beliefs and how we're conditioned to perceive ourselves and the world. And that is something that is formulated over time. Of course, it's not something that you can change overnight, but it is something that you can evolve pretty quickly when you commit to becoming self-aware and mindful and being intentional about how your mind is set, what your attitude is, what your perspectives are, what you choose to believe, how you are showing up mentally for yourself and for your healing journey. And so if you're not aware of your mindset and you spend the majority of your day worrying, complaining, focusing on your problems, that's another sign of an antagonistic mindset. When all you do is like, these are the things that are wrong in my life. This was me for basically like most of my life. You just like wake up and you think about everything that stresses you out. Your mindset is not conducive for healing. And so of course you're going to struggle to heal. And this goes so close to the limiting beliefs that we're all just fed day in and day out that are not true about healing. I call this part of the everything in life is hard mentality, where like every aspect of life is hard, like healing is hard, relationships are hard, success is hard, getting what you want in life is hard, this is hard, this is hard. And it's just like, come on, you guys, if everything in life is hard, how can you expect to enjoy life? How can you expect to enjoy life when everything is hard? It's just a tragedy on so many levels that we have allowed our society to just believe these things. And 2, no one is questioning them. And 3, it really doesn't serve us. Now, I'm not diminishing the fact that life is tragic at times. I mean, we are living right now in a very tumultuous time, and we're witnessing real tragedy and hardship on a daily basis that is heartbreaking. You have to start questioning if the way that you are thinking, if the beliefs that you recite and repeat and reinforce and defend actually benefit your ability to enjoy life and to enjoy your healing. Because if the beliefs that you repeat and the beliefs that you reinforce and defend just perpetuate the notion that everything in your life is hard, then everything in your life is going to be hard. Our brains are literally wired to filter our reality according to our beliefs. That is how our brains work. There is a function of our brain. There's a part of our brain that's its main purpose. The reticular activating center, I believe it's called, or system, RAC, whose main purpose is to filter our reality according to our beliefs. Because if it didn't do that, because we were so bombarded with so much information all day long, we would just go insane. So there has to be some sort of filter. Otherwise, it's like sensory overload. And so our brains are like that awesome that there is a piece of our brain that is like, okay, this is your reality according to your beliefs so that you don't go insane today. We have to question our beliefs, right? We're literally wired to operate by them. If our beliefs cater to healing is hard, I'm broken, love is hard, getting what you want in life is hard, everything is hard, everything is hard, everything is hard, then everything in your life is going to be hard. And we really have to, if we want to enjoy healing, if we want to heal with joy and ease, we have to foster beliefs that support joy and ease and productivity as opposed to struggle and stress. And this takes me to my other point, why so many people struggle to heal is because they're stuck in survival mode. And a lot of those beliefs are so deeply ingrained subconsciously because they've just been conditioned by inherited trauma, by our parents, by schooling, culture that we're just stuck in survival mode. We're just stuck in survival mode. And so being stuck in survival mode is basically when your nervous system is dysregulated and you're primarily in like fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. And so your nervous system just thinks that you're like constantly in danger, and it's like a conditioned state. It's because of unresolved trauma, stuck, suppressed emotions that are keeping your nervous system in a state where it believes that you are not safe. And when you are stuck in nervous system dysregulation, meaning your nervous system is not able to balance itself, right? You're just like stuck in hypervigilance or hypovigilance. You can't heal. Like you just physiologically, you can't heal. That's how our brains and our bodies are designed, that healing mode is only activated when our nervous systems are regulated and we're operating primarily in a parasympathetic state, which is called rest and digest when we're calm. When we're at rest, then we can digest. That's what that means. Because if you're stressed out, if you're worried, if you're anxious, and you're in that hypervigilant state, or you're stuck in, sadness or grief and like you can't get out of it, your nervous system is dysregulated. And so you just can't heal. That is how your mind and your body works. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand how their nervous system affects their ability to heal, how to even regulate their nervous system, what nervous system regulation means. It's not like living in a constant state of Zen. It is like learning to relax, though, more often, and changing your relationship with stress so that you just don't like fall back into stress mode because you think that's how you can like willpower your way into healing and health and happiness. That doesn't work. I tried that for many years. You can't force yourself to be healthy and happy. You have to like relax into it. And being chronically stressed is like the biggest adversary to healing. This is one of the key foundational things that I teach, is educating people about the effect of living in chronic stress mode and being addicted to stress, and why it is such a hindrance to our ability to be healthy and happy. We're so conditioned to normalize stress. People wake up stressed, people spend their whole day stressed, people go to bed stressed, and it's like, okay, that was Tuesday, but it's not healthy and it's not normal. And that was me for like literally 30 some years. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'm like, everybody's like this, right? Like everybody was worried all the time and anxious and like, right, this is normal. And our minds and our bodies do not want to operate that way. And we can unlearn all of that. And if you're struggling to heal, I would bet that you are very stressed in some way, either consciously or subconsciously. I would bet that you have conditioned yourself to function in a predominant state of stress. And again, our minds and our bodies cannot heal when we're in a chronic stress mode or a chronic survival mode. And another reason that people struggle to heal is overcomplicating your healing journey. I see this a lot. Healing is fundamentally simple. And that's not to diminish that healing can be heavy and that trauma can be heavy, or that aspects of the healing journey can be emotional and uncomfortable. But fundamentally, healing is simple. How our minds and our bodies heal is not complicated. It is not rocket science. I don't have a PhD and I healed myself. You can heal. And it doesn't need to be overwrought with like a gazillion different techniques and like 1,000 supplements that you have to take for the rest of your life, and like every exercise program known to man. And it doesn't have to take like all of your time. It just doesn't have to be that way. That's not healing. That's actually stressful. So if you lean into that mode, which I can relate to because I used to be an overachiever, parts of me are still an overachiever. You have to pause and reflect on why you think that healing has to be convoluted and why you're compensating in that way. Because let me tell you, being healthy and happy is very simple. We don't need much to be healthy and happy. Everybody knows what's required to be healthy and happy. That's the thing. It's like we all know we should eat well, that we need to drink water, that we need to manage our stress, that we need community. We know these things. People know these things. It's not, again, like information that is hidden in a cave that no one has access to. It is not rocket science. You don't need a PhD to understand is required for the basis of health and happiness. And yet so many people struggle to be healthy and happy. Healing is fundamentally simple. And when you overcomplicate your healing by doing all the things, trying all the diets, all the fads, and like running yourself down, you cannot heal. And healing is going to be a struggle because A, you're probably drained, right? You're probably really fucking tired. You're probably like very frustrated. You're mentally probably unclear, meaning you lack direction and focus because you're doing this and then you're going to that appointment and then you're reading that book and then you're watching that video and then it's this and the other thing. Also, because you haven't given yourself that moment to like be centered and connected to self. Like the whole healing effort is going to be so extraneous when it doesn't need to be, because healing really is just a return to self. It's a homecoming. That is what healing is. It's a joyful return to your true self. And when you overcomplicate your healing journey, you're not doing that. You're actually diverting yourself away from yourself. And so, of course, healing is going to be unproductive. And this leads me to the final reason that so many people struggle to heal, which is they lack a system. They lack that structure. They lack a roadmap, which means if you have no direction, you have no clarity. Because if you're doing this and you're doing that, and if you tried this and you've read that, and she said this, but he said that, and you're doing everything or you're doing nothing because it's so overwhelming, you're frozen, right? That's your trauma response, is to freeze and to procrastinate or do nothing. Of course, you're going to struggle to heal because you have no system, you have no structure, you have no roadmap, right? You have no direction. And this is why we struggle to do anything in life, right? When we're just like, on a whim, I'll do this thing and I'll just see how it goes. I mean, sometimes it works out. A lot of times there's a lot of trial and error. And there are things in life that lend itself to that experience, but healing is not one of those things. We don't need to suffer and struggle in order to heal. And that is what happens when you don't have like a system or a structure or a roadmap for healing, right? You're just like, do I need to do this? Should I try that? I don't know. Okay, I'll try it. And then it doesn't work, or it does work for a little bit of time. And then you get frustrated when it doesn't work again. And then you're on like the next jaunt, and it's just like never ending. And it's really not productive. And you're wasting a lot of time and energy, and you're investing so much of your resources when you could just follow a system and a structure and a roadmap that's going to get you exactly where you want to go. And that's why I built my program, is to provide that system, that structure, that roadmap that is just lacking, so that you don't need to squander your time and your energy and your resources when you can just like have a smoother healing journey that you enjoy, that you're not floundering about and guessing, is this the best thing for me? You know, it worked for her. Is it going to work for me? And all of that is so unnecessary. So the reason that so many people struggle to heal is that they lack those healing skills. They lack that foundation. They don't know how to love and trust themselves. They don't know how to differentiate between their wounded self and their authentic self. They lack that emotional health. They have an antagonistic mindset. They don't know how their minds and their bodies work, like how we actually heal, how our nervous systems need to be regulated. They don't know how to simplify the healing process because they don't have a system and a structure and a roadmap to follow. Now, I know that that sounds like a lot, but they're all kind of like the same thing, or they're sort of all connected. So on a final note, I know it may seem like a lot, all of those reasons that people struggle to heal. Maybe you relate to one or some or many of them. Regardless, it's all fixable. Regardless, you can learn the healing skills. Regardless, you can join my program, follow a structured system with a roadmap for healing, develop emotional health. I mean, all of this is in my program. All of this is stuff that is essential for an enjoyable and productive healing journey that we're just not taught. No one tells us that these things make the difference in healing, because again, those limiting beliefs that healing is hard and healing is going to be a struggle are just so normalized that no one questions, hey, healing can be easy. Healing can be something I enjoy. Healing can be something that I look forward to. Healing can be something that doesn't take like 10 years that I have to trudge through and go on this roller coaster for. It just doesn't need to be that way. And so I hope you give yourself permission to stop struggling and have an easier healing journey. I want you to. And I know that that's what you deserve. Thank you so much for joining me today in The Simple Source. I hope this episode has inspired you, reminded you of your healing power, and reawakened you to who your true and highest self is. If the show has empowered and enlightened your self-love, growth, and healing journey, please share this episode, leave a positive review on Apple or Spotify, and subscribe to be reminded of new episodes. I am so grateful for your presence, and all of your comments and your support are seen and read and deeply appreciated. They really do help this show so much. Also, sign up for my newsletter, The Weekly Source, to get more healing tips, motivation stories, and to get to know me better. And if you haven't read my book, Unconditional, You Are Perfect As You Are, I invite you to get your copy today and start reading. And lastly, I would love to see you inside my Source membership, the only holistic and comprehensive step-by-step self-healing program that is proven to work. It's time to stop struggling to heal and time to learn how to thrive more simply and joyfully. All the links are in the show notes. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you next time.